Welcome, everyone. This is Libby Blackburn, and I would like to call this meeting to order for the McCandless Activities Advisory Committee. So to start off, and because we're now on the computer and I'm not in front of everyone, I'm sorry to say we were discussing something else and now I'm going to have to get on my agenda.
The first item on the subcommittee special projects update is Channel 98, and that has an open chair position. I don't think there's any updates on that. If anybody is aware of anything.
There is no, and thank you, I'm on it now. So there isn't any updates on it because ever since COVID and so forth, they just haven't started these. But is there anyone interested in having this be their item to report on? I'm just sort of looking for a raised hand or anything. Okay.
What does that involve, Libby? Excuse me.
You know what? We'll come back to it because there won't be anything for a little bit, and the person to ask, the person who was in charge was Mrs. Chakra. So she would know probably more than we would. Okay, council items. Carolyn, do you have an update for us? Are there any council items? You're still on mute, Carolyn. You're on mute, Carolyn.
Okay,
there you go.
Sorry. So there are no updates currently. I will say that Trish Clunan is the liaison for the Heritage Center, so I just wanted to correct that on the notes. But I know I wanted to give you guys an update. I had talked to Trish Greathouse about setting dates for the upcoming Community Day, for your Winter Festival, everything for 2022. If we can get those dates figured out, that'd be great. So we can kind of like start to plan on when we would advertise and you know, plan those, you know, accordingly to their timeframes.
We will definitely pick out our dates. We said that we were going to do that this meeting. So next, fitness court. So the person who was involved with the fitness court, believe it or not, Trish Clunan sort of took over that because she knew the woman who was helping us with that. Would anyone be interested in that being their report? Clearly, we're going to have to just get our 2 new members. After this evening, we'll have some more people on our committee and that'll help us. Plus a couple of people couldn't make it tonight. I know there's nothing on meeting spaces and Dawn told me nothing with the volunteer development, nothing new there. I will announce that we will be interviewing 2 possible candidates for our committee openings this evening. Okay, old business, annual report. Nobody has really given me dates for anything. Everybody was going to try to email that in. So it's going to be the most brief annual report if nobody gives me specifics on the projects, because my annual report is going to end up being brief to the point to say we held bingo night several times, we had, you know, community day, etc. We aren't going to be able to give anything very specific if people don't have anything to give me. And it's getting late at this point. Open committee positions.
Libby, I got a question. Are you talking about the annual reports that stand like the one I turned into Sandy a couple months ago? Is that what you're talking about?
But I need it because normally the chair is the one who types it up. So if you did turn it in, if you could forward it to me, that would be great.
Okay, Sandy, is that what she's talking about?
Yeah, I believe so. I can,
Yes.
I had thought that I had thought that Trish Clunin was also, and Libby were also on that email, I had thought.
I did too. You know what? I'll just resend it to you, Libby, because I sent it back
And
in
maybe
November.
yours is, I do have one. It could be that. I don't think it's that one, but it might be that. I got one.
had-
I
I
still
had thought
have
that
it.
I thought that you had Christine's. I will definitely, I apologize if
That-
that was my,
Okay. And,
Yeah,
and I only have one, so maybe that's it. Okay. No problem. Just
Okay, thanks.
forward. So let's look at these dates that are in front of us. So treasures in the trunk. Christine, is that date good? May 21st?
The
Christine,
other, let me throw
I'm
out
try-
one thing
I
from
was trying
town
to get my-
administration real quick. These are items that we came up with as suggestions. Absolutely. Something else that was floated by staff was that Community Day be changed out with treasures in the trunk and reversed to kind of spread out some of the fun for volunteers. Just something to consider as we go over these dates.
so you're thinking of Community Day being in May. We've never done that before.
We know, and we're open to the prospect of moving it to the spring. This was a date that was out there earlier than Memorial Day, but late enough from Mother's Day and potential snow.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. I mean, it might be a great time to have it. I really have no idea. I think we've all gotten so used to Community Day being in the September area, but sort of what's nice about a May date is, that's sort of when school is ending. Everybody would be free, probably May 21st. Even kids would be home from college. Whereas September, everybody's back in the throes of school, whether it's in North Allegheny or away at a college or anything. So that I'll at least say that it's very interesting to me to switch it to May. It might turn out even better. What do people think?
well, I also, before anybody else comments, I wanted to say that the last community day that we had was just happened to be the same weekend that St. Alexis had their festival. And it seems as though September still, just like the summertime, has a lot of festivals and things going on. Really, I can't think of many places that hold festival type activities on the weekends in May. That was another thing that, we thought would be a boon to the town, is that we don't have to share the day with anybody.
I think that that's a huge important point, because the St. Alexis Festival is something that everybody goes to. So it does really take away from people attending our event. So for that reason alone, it's probably a much better idea. Much better idea. So does anybody else? So what I have to do is just call on people who are committee members right now and ask for comments, because people who are committee members need to vote on the dates. So does anybody else have any comment on the Community Day switching to the May date?
Can I say something? So
Absolutely.
just from a planning perspective, that's 3 months away. And I think my preference, I think we should keep it in September, because that the whole purpose of Community Day was to celebrate McCandless and the history and when it was formed. And I just think that, it's been at least 20, maybe 21 years that we've been doing Community Day in September. I understand that there's the St. Alexis Festival, but we've had that to deal with for 22 years too. But I just think changing it, especially now, I just think it's too close for a May date. There's homecomings, there's proms, there's so many other things going on between now and May. I just think there's a lot to fit in on such a short time period that I just don't think I don't
It-
think it's a good idea to
It would
switch.
certainly be a disaster if that was, prom or something, which I think is earlier, but I don't really know. I'd have to look that up.
Yeah, I'd have to look into it.
You're right, though, 3 months is not much time at all, especially for such a big event.
Yeah,
But it was a disaster last year. We did not have a good turnout at
Yeah.
all because of it being, I think we need to pick a date different from the St. Alexis Fair for sure.
well, aren't we already contracted? I thought we already have a contract for the fireworks for those dates too, because I thought when I talked to Bob, we already have it, like they already have a signed contract for it.
I can
I-
check with him. Sandy, do you know for sure? I have not made any deposits yet that I know
I
of.
don't know for sure, but I haven't been in contact with them. That wasn't my understanding, but I can check. I can double check with them.
Okay,
We probably, if they're free, it can be switched to that date. It's just a matter of them being
They've
free
been
or
really,
not.
really flexible with us. So they've
Yeah.
been great over, and the idea being to kind of, with Winterfest, maybe not making Community Day as big, to kind of spread the wealth between Community Day, National Night Out, and Winterfest, and have 3, really successful events, versus, throwing everything into that September date that we have a lot of competition for.
Yeah, we certainly, I will state factually, last year we had a huge amount of competition for it. And the festival, I'm just telling you, people will choose to go to the St. Alexis Festival. I really feel like we need to make it a different date. So do we know what date the St. Alexis Festival is this year?
I'm gonna look it up right now.
Thank you. So that's going to be important because, I mean, we just did not have the people. Let's talk about a couple of the other ones. National Night Out. Does anybody have any objections to Tuesday, August 2nd?
That is
that's
A national thing.
yeah, that's a set date.
Yep,
Keep it that date.
yep. Okay, how about Winterfest? Saturday, December 3rd? No problems there? Okay, Christine, how about Treasures in the Trunk? What dates were you interested in? Because we're
Well-
talking about switching from May. Treasures in the Trunk would work, when that could be a lot of different dates. You tell us what works in your schedule. So
the fall's hard for me. September, end of September, October, that's just a terrible time for me. So that's not good, but,
Does
I
the
don't
May
know.
21st work? And the 22nd is a rain date.
that works for me.
Okay, well,
And
sorry,
I'm not seeing, the date for the St. Alexis Festival yet.
okay. That's going to be important. So let's approve, if everyone is okay, I'd like to make a motion that we approve all of these dates with the caveat that if the St. Alexis Fair is on Saturday, September 10th, that we look to see if we can switch that date by a week.
Do we take public comment before we take these votes? Shouldn't we? I don't know, I just thought I'd ask because I don't know who else on.
Public comment, I think, was at the end of the meeting. It comes up. It's not like, see, it's a little lower.
Okay, because our attorney told us we had to take public comment on any voting just before we voted.
Okay,
So that's what-
okay.
Sure.
That's what we do at school board meetings, so that makes sense to me.
Okay.
Okay, is there public comment? Nobody has hand raised, so I guess we're okay.
Oh, Nicole was asking something.
Oh, I'm sorry, Nicole, I didn't see, oh, there's a little thing on your Zoom call where you can actually raise the hand, but you're fine. I didn't realize that was your hand raised. Speak up. Thank you.
So I think they're still deciding the date of the St. Alexis Festival, but there's a chance they're gonna combine them again. So it very well could be the beginning of September. It used to be Alexis in August and then the Harvest Festival in October, but the parishes combined. They're trying to do them sort of in between that date. So I just wanted to share that I had heard that as well. So there's a chance it would be that first or second weekend.
Okay. I think if it ends up being the second weekend, is there a problem with us switching to September 17th, making it 1 week later? What do you guys think about that?
If anything, I'd go earlier and do it more like at the end of August or something where we have warmer weather. Because the thing is, the further we go into September, we tend to get these colder days and rains. And I just think weather-wise, I personally think I think a July would even be better. Just anything that's not too close to, temperamental weather that might cause a lot of problems for us.
Okay.
Like the 27th or even August 13th, something like that. I don't know, but
And when does school, when does school start? Libby?
I can switch and get a date on that. School won't start until school will have already started before that September 10th. It's probably the previous Monday, but I can look and tell you in a second. So I'm going to look that up, but does anybody want to? I would like to make a motion to approve the dates that we see pending Community Day not interfering with the St. Alexis Fair.
I'll second that.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay, this passes unanimously. We will go with these dates. Let's talk about some other projects. And I know I feel terrible. We had this great thing having this activities committee, and first it was, COVID-19, and then we got the Delta, and now it's Omicron, and all of these different things, which are sort of hindering some of our projects. But who has some additional project or activity ideas? Christine, you're always good for a couple of good ones.
I still think that ice cream, if we can do an ice cream social, that would be fun.
And last year we picked that for, it was the first week of June. We made it was it a Friday night? We made it on the first week of June, or a Thursday night?
I don't remember. And I don't remember why we didn't end up doing it. Was it because of COVID again?
It was COVID again. Yep.
Okay. I thought so. I think that would be fun. Or even another good idea is like I don't want to say a dance, but like a dance in the park. Bring your kids and play some music, or just have fun with some music and dancing, and think about McCandless Crossing. Everybody goes to those McCandless Crossing music nights. There's so many people that go to that. That would be fun to do down at the park down there. I mean, that's my idea. Two little ideas there. Does that interest anybody? Yep.
Not a dancer, but if somebody
whenever Dale and I
Organize.
met with the Point Park person that was in charge of outreach, he suggested something like that, Christine, where they could have some students come out and do like a music festival type thing with play music. People could dance, of course. Right, Dale? Do you remember him? And we have Ed Traviseri, who lives in North Allegheny, who lives in McCandless Township. And I don't know if any of you, Ed used to work for DeCesar Engler, and now he's a professor at Point Park. And he said, you know, we could do something like that, Christine, with the kids from Point Park, you know, would be available to lead that.
It doesn't have to be a dance, but you know, live music and
Yeah,
It just
that's what he was saying.
yeah. So like in McCandless Crossing, they have it, I think Mondays and Thursdays, they have a music night. And people, they sit around and listen. Some get up and dance, some don't, but it's just a nice time to gather.
I love the idea of a music in the park. The dancing part, I wasn't sure, but people would dance, especially you and the teens. But I think people would show up for something like that, and we could do that. I like that idea. So first of all, to answer everyone's questions, the first day of school is Monday, August 22nd.
Okay.
That'll be our first day. And so I like the idea of you know, that in the park, and we could even do it, you know, we could combine it with the
Ice
other
cream.
group. Yeah, you could combine it easily with the ice cream night, with a movie night. You could combine a lot of things, but the ice cream night would be, I think, great, because we want some music there anyways. We could maybe have, you know, something like the Strolling Strings as people come and get their ice cream and are eating their ice cream, and then we could see if we could have some kind of a band, or have like a contest of bands or something, to have some music, or just a DJ.
What about
Well, like I
yeah,
said,
what about a weeknight in the summer?
So you didn't like the first week of June?
Well, I mean, does it have, my question, does it have to be a weekend? Can it be a weeknight? Like maybe a Wednesday or Thursday, and do it at one of the shelters? One of
As
the
long as
big
it's in the
shelters.
summer, it could be a weeknight, absolutely. If it's
That's what
in
I'm
the
thinking.
summer, it can be. During the school year, it couldn't be, but sure, we could make it, you know, later in in June or July. Let's just look at the dates we have. So we have May, so later in June, you know, around 4th of July, things get crazy. Nobody's going to do anything, but we could make it, you know, a June date. I think more people would come on a weekend if you're talking about evening dancing, but the ice cream, I think absolutely we could make it any night.
Right. And how about one of the bigger shelters? Isn't there one called North? That's a pretty big shelter. Or do you want it more?
do you
at
mean
the-
in McCandless, Christine?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
the
what I'm
park.
thinking. You could like use different parks. We have the one down on Sloop Road, the Devlin Park, and I don't know, where's the other one that you're talking
The
about?
Sleep Road is Wall Park.
Ballpark.
Yeah.
But I think you're going to have a hard time. I think a lot of people don't know the different parks. I think
Well,
that
that would, yeah.
it, you know,
Yeah.
I think we're better off with the pavilion. So it sounds
Okay.
like we're interested in this. How about if we all pick a date to do this? Do we have on, is Amy Steele on this call? Because she really seems to know dates. How about Sandra
see-
or Trisha? Do either of you have a calendar that you could tell us an open date in June or July, and we could just pick it and approve that so that Carolyn could take this back to town council?
I would just say stay away from Father's Day weekend and the weekends before, only because they tend to be, you know, busy with graduation parties and weddings and stuff. So, but then
That's a good idea.
you're right at the 4th of July then after that. So I don't know. I don't know if you want to do something more like July 15th, 16th, July 22nd, 23rd. Just so you're not competing with Father's Day and graduation parties and stuff.
We could do that, or we could stick with a weeknight and not a weekend.
Yeah, do like a Wednesday, Thursday. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that would be great, a Wednesday or Thursday.
Mhm.
So let's do a Wednesday or Thursday. How about,
How about Thursday, June 23rd? Then that way you're, what, 4 days after Father's Day, so it's not too close to then.
It's open on the town calendar currently.
okay, let's pick that. Does anybody oppose that date?
And this will be for ice cream and then maybe have a band or something there too, or strolling strings or something, right? Libby?
Live
Yep.
music.
Live music.
Okay, so, I want to make sure that this is good with everyone, and I want to make sure that, there's no public comment. Any public comment? All in
Libby, can I
favor?
ask real quick? So someone's gonna complete the worksheet to go to council and step up as the committee chair?
Yep, as soon as we approve the date, I'm going to ask for a committee chair, but we probably have to wait till we approve our new people, but we'll see. So first, can we, I'd like to ask all in favor of, did you say Wednesday, June,
Thursday, June 23rd.
Yeah,
Thursday, June 23rd?
Mhm.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, Thursday, June 23rd. So we'll add that to the calendar. Now, who would like to chair that? So Christine is doing Treasures in the Trunk. Community Day is what I'm doing. I believe we're going to have somebody joining this evening who will do Winterfest. Who would like to be in charge of our ice cream and possibly dancing music evening?
I'll help do it, Libby. So,
Okay, maybe you and I will work on it if we don't get
Yeah.
another volunteer after tonight. We have a couple of people possibly joining. So we'll list you right now, but you can't do everything, Christine, although I'm willing to let you do everything. So, okay, I like that. How about, is there any other bingo nights picked?
we haven't discussed it. The next one, if we do one, would be around St. Patty's Day.
I'd love to see that happen because
Lots of
bingo, we've had a lot of people be interested. So could you look at that and give us a date for a bingo night? Because I know Dale said that he was going to help and be our technology person to help with it.
Yep.
So Dale's going to be your new partner, Christine, on that. And I bet Conchetta will still help. I really feel she will. Okay, any other ideas? Any public comment? All right, then I would like to entertain a motion to adjourn.
Libby, wait, I found a date.
Oh, okay, thank you.
I'm sorry, that's what I was doing. We can look at the 10th, a Thursday, the 10th,
That sounds good.
I think, because the
Dale,
following
does that work
Thursday,
in your schedule?
Yeah.
And Trisha, Sandra, can you look at the McCandless? And
There's
make
nothing
sure,
on the calendar right now.
Yeah, Thursday.
okay, we would like to take Thursday, the 10th. Okay, let's plan on that too.
for like the
Um,
bingo. Well, I'm
yeah.
always on that one, so.
And now Dale's going to help. And Christine, can you reach out to Conchetta to see if she wants to help again? She may.
Absolutely. I'll pop an email to her.
Yeah, and we may have to ask Trish Clunan to come in just to show Dale how to do it so he can do it forevermore.
Okay, and do we have enough gift cards? Or do we need more?
There was a bunch left over, they said, but I don't know how many. I think
All right. So
Trish
We
Libby,
need,
even
what
had
actually, we
those.
need to look at the expiration dates on gift cards because I know that the last batch of Chick-fil-A gift cards that Trish had given me for the last bingo, I sent them out and got a phone call that they were all expired, which neither Trish nor I had caught that. So I requested more from Chick-fil-A and they, they gave them directly to me so that I could send them out for people. But we need to make sure, even if we do have gift cards, that perhaps if they're expired, we take them back in and ask for, exchanged cards or something. So I don't know who holds on to the cards or who has them. Traditionally, Trish
do
Clunan
that.
has always brought them to me. But just make sure you take a look at that because that was an issue with the last bingo.
And
Wow.
did you get them, did you get them from Mike Ortman or Ron Trout?
I got them from
Which Chick-fil-A?
the Chick-fil-A in,
Ross
one
or
was it?
Wexford?
I believe it was a Wexford one.
Okay, so yeah, and I know the owners,
Uh-huh.
so I'll ask for another 25 just to donate for the year.
Okay, that'd be great.
If I can, yeah, I'll try to get 25.
Okay, and just so since we're on this, the subject of dates and festivals and things like that, Bob just got back to me and said that we have not made any kind of deposit for any specific date for fireworks.
Okay, I think Carolyn had a very good point for this year. It's really pushing
Absolutely.
it to do something in 3 months. But I
Absolutely.
do think when we start having our meetings, I'm going to bring it up. Let's look at making it a quicker turnaround and maybe making it in May of the next year. That actually makes sense to me. And it would be probably a great time because it wouldn't interfere with anything, not even graduation parties or anything, because they're all going to, they won't have graduated yet. So I do like that. So, okay, if that's it, then I'm going to say meeting adjourned and